What I learned from my ex-lovers. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess Go, and I just feel so called to share some really profound insights and a fresh perspective on how we can navigate ourselves in intimate and romantic relationships. For me, I was so sheltered and living in a bubble because I had a very overprotective mother, particularly when it comes to the Asian culture. She doesn't want me to get pregnant or have sex while I was in high school. She didn't want me to see any boys. She wanted me to finish high school and go to uni and then get an amazing job as a banker or a doctor. And for me, that was just not my calling at all. Because my mother put so much emphasis on what she valued because that's what she missed out in her upbringing. She never got the chance to go to high school, or let alone finish it, should I say. So she didn't want me to miss out on those opportunities in life. However, I found myself at 26 and starting to fall for this man who was 42. This was my first ever relationship, and it has been a really tough experience for me, especially when it comes to the way he broke up with me. So what I've learned from this relationship in particular was that love was so new to me. I was like a puppy dog. I was craving it. I wanted it so badly that I was willing to be in a relationship with this man who didn't have his stuff together. He just came out of a de facto relationship, and his ex was kind of interfering with our relationship and started calling me certain names that I didn't appreciate and completely ignored her messages. The thing was that he was so wounded, but at the same time we were both doing self-development, and that's how we found each other, is that he wasn't willing to own his stuff. He wasn't willing to be accountable for the way he projected his pain and suffering and triggers onto me. And funny enough, I was the exact same mirror for him. I really struggled to own what I was feeling inside. And I really struggled to express my needs, my wants, my boundaries with him. Instead, I lost myself in the relationship by giving into him, giving into his demands, his desires, his needs. And I became this submissive woman to him. And when he ever gets hangovers, I don't drink at all, he would call me and I would have to babysit him. And I felt like I was mothering him. And that's not what I wanted in a relationship. I wanted a man who can take responsibility for his life, especially at that age, and to be an equal to me. And what showed up was I felt like I was in a father-daughter relationship, and to some extent I was in a mother-son relationship with him. Because I was so new to the game, I had this idea of love. However, this idea of love was insatiable. I couldn't get my needs met. I was so conditioned what love was for me because of my family dynamic. You see, my father was the very first man who showed me what love is, whether that love is healthy or dysfunctional. And the way he presented that was that he never showed affection. He didn't really give me that much attention. And he never praised me or complimented me. Instead, he would insult me by criticizing me and calling me that I'm stupid and useless. if I didn't want to help in the markets and I was just a kid, a little girl. He would say I'm stupid and useless if I'm not registering what 12 times 12 is, because my brain works in a different way. I'm a creative, and for me at a young age, I just knew that I love dancing and designing and painting. And my parents did their best to support that by allowing me to go to dance classes and perform at concerts, but it wasn't really seen as a career in their eyes. So I lost myself in the process. And that's exactly how it showed up when it came to dating and relationships for me. I knew that I wanted this type of love that I had in my mind, where it was filled with romance and respect and spontaneity and adventure and growth and a deep, 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 deep sense of connection and intimacy. But what I found instead was I was dating my own father. I attracted my own father, because the thing was, even though I met this man at 26, my dad passed away when I was 22 of a heart attack. And I thought I could escape my father through his death, but it always comes back because I never took personal responsibility in healing and owning my pain. So I've attracted a partner that reflected that back right at me and reminded me, this is my father in the relationship. So it's important to see how every single relationship is presenting you a family dynamic, because most of the time it does, until you raise your consciousness and let go of the heartache that you've been carrying for most of your life. And I notice when I work more on my father woundings, I attract a different man. Some men would come into my life and be somewhat like my mother or my brother. And then that's something that I need to heal within myself. So my last relationship that I ended after COVID hit, he reminded me so much of my mother, where he was very controlling and needy, but at the same time, he also reminded me of my inner child, the part of me that doesn't want to let go of a relationship, of a man, because I don't really know what unconditional love is like. And that's what he reflected back at me. And as we were about to come into an end, I've realized this is not what I wanted. And if I continued this relationship, I know that we would be engaged. And I don't see myself, when I've awakened my own femininity, discovering the woman in me. And that was the journey I was on when I was with him towards the end. I realized, whoa, my wounded inner child was attracted to him because he is reflecting my wounded inner child. When I started to discover the woman in me, the woman says, this is not my man. He is not my equal. He is finding codependency with me, and I cannot be my true self because I have to shut down my light to make him happy and give him all of the love and attention and affection that he wants from me. But he wouldn't allow me to express my passions in life, such as what I do now, which is trauma recovery. And even though that ended very painfully, I went through a really deep process of alchemy where I had to let go of the wounded part of myself, the woundedness of my inner child that wanted to be so caught up in a relationship. And when I was able to let go of that part of me that wasn't serving me anymore, I started to feel like a new woman. I was able to find myself again. And I decided, for the first time in my life, to actually take a break from dating and relationships. And I haven't been dating or been in a relationship since COVID. So this transitional period has allowed me to reconnect with myself. Who is the real Jess? How can I show up with love and grace for myself? And how can I present that into the next relationship, or if I decide to date again? And I have to say, it has been one of the best gifts that I can ever give to myself. Because now I'm in a space where I know what's right and what's wrong. I have a really sharp mind in seeing beyond the illusion, to perceive what is gaslighting and what is the truth, to trust my intuition and my divine guidance if this is a hell yeah or if this is a hell no for me. And understanding my own needs and my boundaries. Because what I've learned along the way is every time I said yes to something that I didn't want to do, I either regret it or I resent the other person who asked me to do a favor for them. And the other thing is that with my first ex, when I was 26, the way he ended the relationship was so painful. He dumped me over WhatsApp because I was really negative towards him. For some reason, I just felt negative. And I wasn't aware it's because I had this build-up of resentment and hatred towards him because of all of the things that I did that was out of alignment for me. And I didn't feel appreciated. And he had enough of my negativity and decided to dump me over WhatsApp. And I just couldn't believe that that's how things ended. I fell into a depression. I couldn't stop crying. I was crying on public transport. I was crying at home. And at that time, I had my own dress business that wasn't making a dime. So it was a very painful experience, but also a turning point for me, because it was a panic attack that I was stuffing down until I went through another panic attack with a man that I dated who I thought was my dream man, showed me that he is not who he is, that he was a player. And I wasn't able to see that at all. And once I've experienced that panic attack the second time around, I started to realize the truth in my relationships with men. That it's not the men that I have to keep blaming for my pain anymore. It's me. Because I've attracted this pattern into my life. And that's the gift in pain. You know, every single person, or lover, should I say, who has come in and out of your life, they came in to your life for a very good reason. And it's to show you a part of you that you need to let go of so you can free up that pain and step into a higher version of you. For me, it's to step up as a grown woman. And that has been an incredible journey for me. And I do not regret every single experience, because I would not be the woman that I am today. I would not have the mental and emotional resilience and to rediscover who the real Jess is and what unconditional love means to me. So if you are struggling with relationships and dating right now, and you're really going through a tough patch in your life where you're not able to let go of the heartache and the emotional burden, the frustration, the anger, the rage and the hatred, but more so the shame and the grief that you've experienced from those relationships, and you are ready to let it all go and find who you came here to be, I invite you to join me in my incredible trauma recovery immersion called Relationship Recovery. Simply click the link below and it will bring you to a different page where you can learn more about this incredible alchemy, where I take you into a step-by-step experience of a variety of different trauma recovery techniques that are designed to assist you to let go of your heartache, to shift your energy and your consciousness, raise yourself to a high vibration where you can be your own man or woman and truly experience what unconditional love is for you, and how you can start calling in your divine partner, your soulmate. And if you feel you got something out of this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give it a like, comment below, and share it with your loved ones who are in need of this right now. And remember, love is who you are, not who you have in your life.